I believe that is what happened with Jordon Peterson and Christianity. Because he has a lot of his own philosophies about manhood and all these different things. Is there a danger for that? Somebody who has that level of power, most Googled man in the world, to almost become like a Messiah-like figure?
No, I'm not worried at all. I rely on God, Allah.
Why can't that happen with people like Andrew Tate today?
Yeah, why can't he reform?
Here comes a guy, and in one strike, he neutralizes the effect.
Most Googled man in the world.
Exactly. So all those people in the remote corners of the world watching his content, they are looking at this person as some kind of role model. Or they admire him. They love his content, his openness, his almost vulgar talk at times. Right?
Yeah.
They love him. They like him for some reason.
Yeah.
They watch his stuff. Right? Yeah. But then they see this guy mention Islam, Allah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Is there a danger though for people like that to almost think of themselves as a Messiah-like figure? And start reinterpreting because of their position, because we know to learn, you have to humble yourself. You have to have humility.
Yeah.
You have to submit yourself to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first. And then we know people who have more ilm, we ask those who know. And the reason why I say this is because I believe that is what happened with Jordon Peterson and Christianity. I read his book, 12 Rules, okay? Throughout that book, I got a sense he delves into Christian themes, but because of his position, and he regards himself as being somebody who's highly intellectual, both in science and human nature and theology. It's almost like, without saying explicitly, as if he's like a Messiah type figure, he's reinterpreting concepts of Christianity and almost giving his tafsir. See, Christianity talks about this, and this is a universal principle if we think about, like, you know, the way he goes through these things in his book, he doesn't submit to Christianity. He takes from it, because he has a big Christian following, massive Christian following. I've seen with certain figures, and I think we see this too in our history sometimes when, like the Mongols, for example. Yeah. You had big figures from the Mongols when they accepted Islam. It was more like an Islamicized
Mongol Confederacy, yes.
Yeah, Mongol. Yeah. It wasn't like pure Islam. Like there was a lot of things that like Ibn Taymiyyah and many people had to speak out against.
Exactly.
Many Mongols became Christian. It was a Christianized Mongol theology,
you see, that's
right?
a very good example.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So is there a danger for that? Somebody who has that level of power to be to almost become like take Islam, so Islamicize take, because he has a lot of his own philosophies about manhood and all these different things. Take that Islamic stuff and become like a Messiah figure himself, because he put some outlandish, even after he accepted Islam, some outlandish posts. I think a lot of them he took down. Yeah. But is there a temptation, a fitness, something that we got to be aware of?
100% there is, no doubt. That risk is always there. It has manifested itself throughout Islamic history when people accepted Islam and they tried to put their own spins on it. That threat will always remain, even in the future, I believe. But how do we neutralize that threat or that risk?
Yeah.
Okay, by sticking to Orthodox Islam. Orthodox Islam is such a wall of iron, or it's a mountain that anyone who goes against it will not succeed. Okay, they will self-destruct, intellectually speaking. Okay, they won't be able to shake the foundations of Islam. They are so powerful, they are so well preserved that no one with any influence can come and change the basic tenets or basic principles of Islam, for that matter. Okay,
but it's tempting for the person who accepted Islam, because Shaitan doesn't leave you. You accepted Islam, he's going to try to make you do bid'ah or like do different things.
No, it is possible. This is how sects came about.
Yeah.
This is how you had cults come up in the history of Islam, but they never succeeded. In the grand scheme of things, if you look at the history of Islam for the last 1,000 years, you will see many cults around popular personalities or an idea or a system. They never succeeded. Yeah. They fell. Eventually, they lost their impetus. Okay, anyone who goes against Orthodox Islam to promote themselves as a philosopher, as a thinker, as an option, or as a parallel way of thinking, they will not succeed. They never succeeded. And we had powerful ideas emerge throughout the history of Islam. Mu'tazila,
Yes.
Mu'tazila they were very intellectually stimulating and very attractive, that idea was. But alhamdulillah, the ulama defended Orthodox Islam, and the Mu'tazila lost their attraction. They lasted for a couple of centuries, and later on they were completely neutralized, intellectually speaking. They disappeared.